Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here, as always, to keep you posted on the transfer market. As always, several things to say. We will talk about several players today, and so let's jump into it. Always time for updates. A new week, Champions League week, huge quarter-final second leg, so get ready. It's gonna be crazy Tuesday and Wednesday, so we will be here to update you on the market, but also with all the latest from Champions League on my accounts. But guys, today, let me start with a quick one for the World Cup. The World Cup is coming soon, and Carlos Queiroz, the Portuguese manager, will be the new head coach of Ghana. Good luck to Queiroz, who signed his contract today and will lead Ghana into the World Cup 2026. But let's talk about players. Today, guys, I want to talk about some specific situations after answering some of your questions. We received many questions in the recent days here on YouTube, on other platforms. I want to take some of them and answer to you here in this video. Let me start by mentioning defenders. Because on defenders we got many questions, and especially on two cases, Alessandro Bastoni and Ibrahima Konaté. So, your questions on Ibu Konaté. What's happening with Liverpool? Why the new contract is not official yet? How is the status? Let me clarify something. Last week I told you guys that the deal is advancing to the final stages between Ibrahima Konaté and Liverpool, but it's not done yet. Done means agreed, signed, approved by lawyers on club and player side, and that's not the case yet. Why advanced? Because the numbers of the contract are almost okay when it's about the salary, so the agreement on those numbers are quite okay, but there are some small details, but still important, to clarify between Konaté and Liverpool. And those details are regarding some clauses into the contract. I'm not talking about release clauses. I'm talking about specific clauses that they are discussing, Liverpool and Ibrahima Konaté. Clauses into the contract can be, for example, the bonuses linked to trophies or this sort of things. So the guaranteed salary is almost okay, but there are some clauses to clarify. That's why the new contract is still not green light, signed tomorrow. That's the point. But advancing to important stages in the recent weeks. So let's wait for the outcome of these details before we know what's gonna happen with Ibrahima Konaté. On Alessandro Bastoni, many questions from Barcelona fans. What's the update? How is the negotiation going? Why there are no news? Guys, there are no news because there will be no news in the upcoming days. So nothing will happen this week, and I think nothing will happen next week. So this is a story probably for May, June, not something that probably we will bring into end of the market, August or something like that. But as of today, the expectation is not for the Bastoni story to accelerate this month, in April. I don't expect that. Why? Because Inter are busy with the title race, Barcelona are busy with their own races, while I'm recording this video, still in Champions League with the game to play against Atletico Madrid, and then obviously there is La Liga. So at the moment the situation is that Barcelona are talking with Alessandro Bastoni's cap, as I told you since December. The feeling is very good between Bastoni and Barcelona. The negotiation on personal terms is proceeding, but at the moment it's still not something agreed and done yet with the player, and the club-to-club negotiation has not started yet. So you will see many reports, 40, 45 million, Inter 170, Inter 160, Inter 150, every week is different. But the club-to-club negotiation has not started yet. So it's still early. The deal is on player side between Bastoni and Barca, is not started yet as a negotiation between Barca and Inter. That's the status of the story. Moving on a midfielder, getting many questions on Eduardo Camavinga, guys. What I told you on Camavinga, as there are many reports around, is that in case there is a good proposal for the player, Real Madrid could decide to assess proposals and opportunities for Camavinga in the summer transfer window. But as of today, my understanding is that Real Madrid are not actively trying to sell Camavinga. Real Madrid are not offering Camavinga to clubs, his agents are not offering Camavinga to clubs. Camavinga is not showing a desire to leave Real Madrid, according to my information. So, if there is a top club, a top proposal in the summer, we will see what happens. But as of today, Camavinga is not actively trying to leave Real Madrid. Camavinga wants to fight for his place at Real Madrid. Camavinga loves Real Madrid. So he still wants to find a way to continue at Real Madrid also in the future. Then on Real Madrid side, he's not an absolutely untouchable player. If a big proposal arrives, and if the player is keen, for Real Madrid a negotiation could be possible. But it doesn't mean that Real Madrid are telling Camavinga, you are out of the club. That's not the case. So that's the status of the story as of today. On Camavinga, again, many questions on Paris Saint-Germain. I'm not aware about Paris Saint-Germain actively working on a Camavinga deal as of today. We will see later on. Then, Premier League clubs already started making some calls to understand the situation of Camavinga, but at the moment, that's it. Nothing more to say as of today. And then, guys, moving up front in terms of attackers, Gonzalo Garcia. On Gonzalo Garcia, the possibility for the striker to leave Real Madrid is concrete in the summer transfer window. From what I understand, he has many possibilities around Europe. For example, Italian clubs who wanted Gonzalo Garcia in the January transfer window, Como wanted. So there are several Italian clubs interested in the player. There are more clubs around Europe, in Germany, in Spain, in Portugal, in England. Everywhere are clubs interested in Gonzalo Garcia. Why? Because Gonzalo is a very good talent, but also because it's very difficult to find a center striker, physical, young, in modern football. It's not something easy, available on the market. So Gonzalo Garcia could be an opportunity in the summer transfer window. But it depends also on the proposals, what the player wants to do, so it's still early stages. There are many clubs calling, many clubs offering different kind of projects of opportunities to the player. So I think the Gonzalo Garcia situation could be interesting in the summer. Why he didn't leave in January? Because Real Madrid decided to let Endrick go on loan, and so they didn't want both Gonzalo Garcia and Endrick to leave on the same window, but this summer for Gonzalo Garcia could be a different situation. So could be eventually one to watch, for sure. And then just to finish, guys, many questions on Anthony Gordon. Many reports on Anthony Gordon. Let me clarify the situation, guys. According to my info, there is a possibility Newcastle sell one or two top players in the summer transfer window. It's about financial fair play, it's about the cost of the squad, so they have to consider exits. Could be one, could be two, based on opportunities, based on proposals, based on what players want to do. So, Anthony Gordon has chances to leave Newcastle in the summer transfer window. There is a lot of interest also in Sandro Tonali. Let's see what happens with Bruno Guimaraes. I'm not saying that Newcastle are going to sell all these players. That's not the case. Newcastle will try to keep as many as possible. But at the moment, there is a possibility Anthony Gordon could be on his way out of Newcastle in case of a big proposal. Many questions on Bayern. There are several clubs, guys, interested, also in Premier League. I would not underestimate Premier League clubs in this race for Anthony Gordon in case there is a door open to his exit in the summer. Bayern are looking at wingers on the market, that's not new, we know. Yan Diomande, now links with Anthony Gordon, there will be more for sure because Bayern are looking at wingers. But at the moment, what I'm told is that it's still early, with several clubs involved, with the first round of discussions around Anthony Gordon, interest also from Premier League, not only from Germany or other countries, so let's wait and see. And so guys, let me hear your thoughts on all these stories from Alessandro Bastoni, Ibu Konaté, and then we have Eduardo Camavinga, Gonzalo Garcia, Anthony Gordon, many players, many stories. Guys, let me know your opinion here in the comments.